At kanina nga, kasabay nito nga pagbubukas ng sesyon na dito doon sa may House of Representatives ay nagbukas din ng sesyon ang Senado. Bagamat base doon sa information na nakuha natin, 10 o'clock dapat sharp yung mag-uumpisa yung session, pero na late lang naman ng konti itong pagbubukas ng session dito sa Senado. Mga around 10:05 na sila nag-umpisa ng kanilang pagbubukas ng session. At narito panoorin natin ang kuha natin kanina sa session.
Binay, Cayetano Alan Peter Compañero S, Cayetano Pia S, Defensor Santiago, Ejercito, Enrile, Escudero, Estrada, Gingona, Unasan, Lapid. Of members, the Honorable Senators Angara, Aquino, Binay, Cayetano Alan Peter Compañero S, Cayetano Pia S, Defensor Santiago, Ejercito, Enrile, Escudero, Estrada, Gingona, Unasan, Lapid, Legarda, Marcos, Usmeña, Pimentel, Po, Recto, Revilla, Soto, Trillanes, Villar, Senate President Drilon.
20 senators are present. The chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader. Senator Soto, the Minority Leader, is
Thank you, Mr. President, the Majority Leader. May I raise a parliamentary inquiry, Mr. President?
Please proceed, Senator Soto.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to find out how the attendance or absence of Senator Enrile, Senator Jingo Estrada, and Senator Bong Revilla will be reflected or recorded in the records for today, considering their. I ask this because of their present circumstance. So I hope it is reflected appropriately. Like in the case of Senator Trillanes, during that time they were placed as in detention. He was placed as in detention. May I know how the attendance or absence of the three will be reflected, Mr. President?
The Majority Leader.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, to our esteemed colleagues and distinguished guests. Sir President, as of now, the suspension is not yet effective because the decision itself said that it will become effective when it becomes final unless a motion for reconsideration is filed. No? Therefore, upon consultation with the Secretariat, they note that they are absent because they are under detention.
The same treatment as Senator Trillanes before.
Yes, Mr. President.
In that case, I thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
With that clarification, Mr. President, I move that we consider proposed Senate Resolution number 768.
Any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary will read the proposed measure.
Proposed Senate Resolution number 76. Resolution informing the House of Representatives that a quorum is present in the Senate and that this body has entered upon the exercise of its functions for the second regular session of the 16th Congress of the Philippines. Resolved by the Senate that the House of Representatives be informed that the quorum is present in the Senate and this body has entered upon the exercise of its functions for the second regular session of the 16th Congress of the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt proposed Senate Resolution number 768.
Any objection? There being none, the motion is carried.
Mr. President, I move that we consider proposed Senate Resolution number 769.
Any objection? Hearing none, consideration of the proposed Senate Resolution 769 is in order. The Secretary will read the title and the text of the resolution.
Proposed Senate Resolution number 769, resolution informing His Excellency, the President of the Philippines, that a quorum is present in the Senate and that this body has entered upon the exercise of its functions for the second regular session of the 16th Congress of the Philippines. Resolved by the Senate that His Excellency, the President of the Philippines, be informed that a quorum is present in the Senate and that this body has entered upon the exercise of its functions for the second regular session of the 16th Congress of the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt proposed Senate Resolution number 769.
Any objection? Hearing none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, we are in receipt of a message from the House of Representatives. May I ask that the Secretary read the message for the record, Mr. President?
The Secretary is directed to read the message for the record.
House Concurrent Resolution Number 6. Concurrent Resolution providing for the Senate and the House of Representatives to hold a joint session to hear the message of the President of the Republic of the Philippines. Resolved by the House of Representatives, the Senate concurring that both Houses of Congress of the Republic of the Philippines hold a joint session on Monday, July 28, 2014 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the session hall of the House of Representatives to hear the message of the President of the Republic of the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I ask that we consider House Concurrent Resolution Number 6.
Is there any objection? There being none, House Concurrent Resolution Number 6 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we consider Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 5.
Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is adopted. Consideration of Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 5 is in order. The Secretary will read the title and the text of the resolution.
Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 5. Concurrent Resolution creating a joint committee of the Senate and the House of Representatives to notify the President of the Philippines that Congress, now convened for its second regular session of the 16th Congress of the Philippines, is ready to hear his State of the Nation address in a joint session of both houses. Resolved by the Senate, the House of Representatives of the Philippines concurring that a joint committee of both houses of Congress be created, composed of 12 members, 6 to be appointed by the President of the Senate and 6 to be appointed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, to notify the President of the Philippines that Congress, now convened for its second regular session of the 16th Congress of the Philippines, is ready to hear his State of the Nation address in a joint session of both houses.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 5.
Any objection? The Chair hears none. Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 5 is hereby adopted. Pursuant thereto, I hereby appoint to the Joint Notification Committee on the part of the Senate, with the permission of my colleagues, Senator Nancy Binay, Senator Pia Cayetano, Senator Lauren Legarda, Senator Grace Poe, Senator Cynthia Villar, and Senator Ralph Recto. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, we are now ready to listen to an address from the Senate President.
My esteemed colleagues, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow workers in government, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The eyes of the people are upon us once again as we open the second regular session of the 16th Congress. I view this day and the days, weeks, and months ahead as our opportunity to recover the people's faith in their Senate, regain their trust, and revive their confidence. Though not within easy reach, I believe that with hard work and perseverance, we would in time walk past the difficult path ahead. It pains and saddens me to witness and bear that the events in the past 12 months, the intense public beatings, the avalanche of intrigues, and the arrows of insults shot into our gates, may have succeeded in reducing the worth and weight of the Senate in the minds and lives of our people. I recognize that as public servants, we must remain receptive to and tolerant of criticism. But should we as individuals and as a collective body allow the Senate to continue to be casually scorned? The Senate as an institution remains a constitutional body entitled to respect, even if some of its members may have been found to have erred through their individual acts. I believe that it is the incumbent duty of each one of us to defend this institution from groundless and reckless assaults against its very dignity and integrity. We owe it to this chamber to combat falsehoods concocted by cowardly minds who spread their lies through proxy voices and pens. To speak up for the Senate, even when it may seem to be more politically convenient and safer for us to be silent, to just wait for the tempest to pass. And I would like to thank each one of you, each one of my colleagues, for standing by this institution of democracy. This painful chapter in the life of the Senate, however, presents us the opportunity to deconstruct our system, identify the flaws in our approach, and remedy them with new practices that will inculcate a culture of public accountability. My esteemed colleagues, even amid this political turbulence, let us continue to weave dreams for our country. Quote, "We must become the change we wish to see in the world." Close quote. I find inspiration in these immortal words of Mahatma Gandhi as we embark on this odyssey towards a Senate that will be a model of good governance and public accountability. A Senate that will listen and respond to the clamor of the people. A Senate that will guard and perform its constitutional mandate and powers with renewed zeal. My dear colleagues, let us set aside 2016 and work hand in hand for the rebirth of the Senate. Last year, soon after we convened the 16th Congress, we were confronted with a formidable challenge that threatened to throw this traditionally tenacious institution off balance. While the cynics were quick to see the political turmoil as the death knell of this august chamber's long-standing preeminence, we seized and turned it into an opportunity for introspection and reform that would lead us to a higher level of public service. I am proud that we did not bend or break despite the enormous crisis that shook every fiber of our institution. Collectively, we faced the daunting challenges. We stayed in touch with the pulse of our people. We listened intently and responded to their clamor for meaningful change. We abolished the PDAF even before it was declared unconstitutional. Sadly, the Senate's abolition of the PDAF remains uncredited. Nonetheless, what matters is that we took serious account of what the people said and clamored for. And we will continue to do so. As we move forward in our second regular session, we will prioritize legislation that would stimulate the economy and generate more jobs, promote fair competition in business, increase the take-home pay of our workers, strengthen our campaign against graft and corruption and criminality, expand access to health and education, and protect our country's territorial sovereignty. As we begin the process of enacting the 2015 national budget, let me emphasize that we will not shirk from our constitutional mandate. We shall wield our power of the purse. We shall craft a budget focused on spending on the right priorities and with measurable results, keeping in mind our goal for inclusive growth. We shall also work on the Bangsamoro Basic Law that will put an end to the decades-old conflict in Mindanao. It is our hope that Malacanang can transmit to us the proposed Basic Law as soon as possible. All these we plan to accomplish by God's grace and by our collective vision and determination, with heads unbowed and in continued fidelity to the Constitution and to the people to whom we owe our mandate. To the Filipino people, be assured that your Senate will stand in solidarity with you. Admittedly, instituting reforms to create a better society is an enormous task. We need your help. We need your cooperation. We need your trust. Let us keep faith in our God, in our government, in ourselves. Thank you very much. God bless our republic. God bless the Filipino people. God bless the Senate. Thank you.
Inyo pong napanood ang naganap kanina na opening session dito sa Senado at narinig niyo po si Senate President Franklin Drilon kung saan po sinabi niya na medyo bumaba, aminado naman si Senate President Franklin Drilon na bumaba talaga yung tiwala ng tao dito sa Senado dahil nga sa mga iba't ibang kontrobersiya kagaya ng pork barrel scam at nung issue din sa disbursement acceleration program. Pero dahil dito ay inspirado din sila na magdoble kayod para pa maibalik itong tiwala ng publiko sa Senado.